2 Megapops achievement. This is a real difficult one to achieve, also known as the achievement where you would need to have one tower do 99.9% of the damage throughout the entire game of Chimps. So your other towers have to be support or anything else that could temporarily cover their weaknesses. And to get this, we're going to be going on Resort, which is a map that I always play on, I'm not going to lie. So what am I thinking for this achievement? We're going to be going for a Wizard Lord Phoenix with Monkey Sense for some camo coverage. But alongside that, we're going to be having Overclock, and then we're going to be having Gwen as well, because one of the more recent updates on her level 5 and level 18 tier allows an improved attack speed for Dragon's Breath, which is going to be huge. Alongside that as well, an M.I.B and Jungle Drums in order to counter Purple Bloons and go from there. So let's get started. We're going to be popping a Magic Monkey there and then click play. Once you're 325, get a Fireball. One lonely little red balloon there. Now once we get 1025 monkey monies, we'll be getting the Wall of Fire, which is really good on this map. Like on this point here and this point here, the Wall of Fire will be able to hit a single balloon 4 times over, because 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then all the way around 4 times. So one Wall of Fire will be able to hit a balloon 4 times over, which is insane. And it only works within this straight here, but I prefer one of the corners of the square here. Let's see, Monkey Sense. Now for round 25, we're going to be encountering Purple Bloons, which are a big counter towards the Magic Monkey, not Magic Money, unless you go down the Shimmer and then the Necromance path. But we're not going to do that, because I tried Necromance path to get 2 million pops, and the Necromancer really struggles with the bad. Like once it runs out of its undead army, it is just no good in order to try and counter a bad. Like DDTs is wonderful, even 45 DDTs is wonderful, but not the bad. It just runs out and you have no ammo left. So we're going to be going for a submerge and support submarine, mainly because then it can't do any damage, because we need this to do almost all of the pops in order to get to 2 million. But we're only going to switch it from submerged to first once some purples come out, which is round 25. But twin guns I find really helps. So I tried doing a test run once, and without twin guns it just does not pop all of the Purple Bloons on here. Okay, so we're going to slow this down, and then once the yellow balloons have run out, we're going to switch this to first. Okay, now Purple Bloons are here, and that will pop the Purple Bloons. And okay, one more. There we go. The wonderful thing about submarines are that their darts they follow the balloons, which is such a wonderful trait. Now the next time I need to use that is, I've forgotten which round it is. It's like the mid-30s or something. I've completely forgotten, but we'll be fine until then. Lead balloons, absolutely no problem. The Wall of Fire and Fireballs just completely extinguish them. So now we are looking for our wonderful Dragon's Breath. And then we're going to think about popping down Gwen. There we go, 3240 coming right up. And now our firepower has increased. And also the rate in which Wall of Fire has come out is greatly improved as well, which is a good feature. Let's see. Once we get to 970, we're going to place Gwen down. But we're not just going to put... Oh, we need this. Okay, first and... just like that, we're done. Excellent. Now we're going to think about putting Gwen down. But we're not just going to put Gwen down anywheres. We need to put Gwen down somewheres in which she is not able to hit any of the balloons. So I'm thinking over here. I'm thinking over here. Like just right there. It can't contact any balloons whatsoever, except maybe a ZOMG or a BFB that comes along this way. Or Moab. Or do people call it Moab? I'll call it Moab. Moab sounds like it doesn't even have an A in it. We need Gwen to get to level 5 so that the Dragon's Breath has a 10% increase in its attack speed, which is big. Any boost towards any kind of attacks is a big boost. But for now, we're going to be putting down a monkey village. I'm going to put it in the radius of the magic money. So magic monkey. But we're not going to put it too close to it because I want to put an alchemist near the Dragon's Breath monkey, but we don't want it under the influence of the village. And I'll tell you why later. Round 39, we've got jungle drums. We're going to get grow blocker, then radar scanner. These two are not so important, but the M.I.B is very important. Here's Moab, the puffer fish Moab, and it just completely obliterates it. Now we're saving up 8,100, and I believe the round in which we get that amount of money is the round in which the next set of purple balloons will spawn. Level 7, so our Dragon's Breath now has the little icon with Gwen on it, which is absolutely wonderful, and we got 8,100, so we're going to buy the M.I.B, and now those purple balloons are no problem whatsoever now. So now that we have the M.I.B, we have no use left of the submerged submarine. But obviously we can't sell it because this is chimps. But it's not doing any harm because it's not accumulating any pops as long as it stays submerged. And I don't buy the plutonium reactor. Summon Phoenix purchased. Now our next task is to get a 040 engineer onto the field, and we're going to place it behind this tree in the bottom left so that if any balloons come this way, then it will not be able to pop them because the tree is providing some blockage. Use the Phoenix whenever some Moabs come out is going to be really helpful, and also for any kind of speed run purposes, then the timing of when you use the Phoenix will determine when you finish the round. And in some cases, especially ranked, using your abilities at the correct timing will determine if you get first or whatever rank you get. So we're going to be popping... Oh, we've already popped down an engineer, which is good. So larger surface area, deconstruction, cleansing foam, and overclock is at 14,580 monkey squids. I mean monies. So we're almost there. Oh, we're going to pop this. Yes, we know it looks very flammable. It's an airship after all. Now we have overclock, we're going to keep using it on the Summon Phoenix magic money monkey. Money and monkey are two completely different things, but yet they're so similar in what you say. We'll save the Summon Phoenix around 60 for when the first BFB comes out. We're gonna overclock that, and now we're going to put that on that, and it should have no issues with that. Okay, now our next gain is to place an alchemist so that it can affect the Summon Phoenix magic monkey, but we do not want it within the radius of the M.I.B, and there's two reasons for that. Number one, of its increased radius of attack, but also its increased speed, which we do not want it to have, because we don't want this thing getting pops, and we do not want the second part because that makes its acid stronger. But faster throwing doesn't really increase its popping potential. All we're doing is throwing potions onto the Summon Phoenix monkey faster. And you might be thinking, round 63, shouldn't you do something? This Summon Phoenix monkey is going to be more than proficient enough while it's overclocked. Like, it shreds through those ceramics. Absolutely shreds through them. We don't even need the Phoenix against the ceramics. That's how good it is. Like, in update 34, or the previous one, the Dragon's Breath path has really gotten a big buff, considering the fact that Gwen now can affect a lot of different towers that has fire at its disposal. Signal Flare, the Inferno Ring, and Dragon's Breath. It loves fire. Round 66, still no issues whatsoever at this point in time. Our next objective is to acquire 56,700 for the Wizard Lord Phoenix, and then our firepower issues will be gone. Also, with the overclock, it summons the walls of fire much faster as well, which is an amazing asset to have. That means that wall of fire will always be down at all times, which is what we need, because not only does Dragon's Breath work very well, but also the wall of fire. And like I said earlier, balloons pass by the wall of fire where it spawns 4 times over on this map. I don't think there's any other map where a road has a lot of crossroads within it. So in a way of how many times does a balloon pass over a particular part of the track. Also, Gwen's abilities, don't use them at all. We don't want to accumulate pops with Gwen. We can't reach to a road with the cocktail, but we can still do the firestorm. Please don't do that. Like, it's going to accumulate a lot of pops, and that could be the deciding factor between our Wizard Lord Phoenix getting 2 million pops overall, or just shy of 2 million. Hope you're having a wonderful 2023 so far, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. 78, and what's the Wall of Fire and Dragon's Breath going to do to all these ceramics? Absolutely melts them. There's just no contest. Our Summon Phoenix, Magic Money, Monkey, again with that. It's just so powerful. And I don't think we'll be able to get this far without Gwen summoned on the field. Looking forward to when Gwen gets to level 18, in which overall Dragon's Breath will have a 30% increase from having Gwen's presence on the field, on the map. We have 13,000 more monkey money in which we need to get in order to get the Wizard Lord Phoenix. Hello ZOMG, welcome to the showdown. Today you will be melted and put down like a watermelon you are. I don't even know where I was going with that. But alas, this watermelon is going to be Gasamelon. I don't know where I was going for that. I was trying to think of a way to evaporate water. Oh my gosh, we're having ourselves some difficulty here. Let us summon the Phoenix. It's going to be very, very difficult, and it's going to be very, very important to always keep our Summon Phoenix overclocked. Otherwise, we're going to have ourselves a lot of issues. I tried this one other time, and I kept accidentally overclocking my submarine because I kept misplacing the mouse. So it overclocked that rather than that, and it costed me the game. Which is fabulous, don't you think? You know, failing on something like that. Like, we could try and use a firestorm if we're desperate, but I just really do not want to take away the pops. Like, every pop matters in my case. That's already got 1,800 pops, which I do not like. I do not like the fact that our Alchemist is getting pops. No way, Jose. And we're getting very close. Just 2,000 away. Is it going to do it? Oh gosh, these ceramics are scary. Those super ceramics are scary, I'm not gonna lie. Like, how close they got to the end, it was really scary. But we finally got it. We finally have a permanent Phoenix. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing there. Okay, at least it's only 800. Oh dear, so I need to focus on 2 and 4 as my hotkeys. But now that we have a tier 5 balloon, we need to place down a second overclock engineer, because the more tiers you progress your monkey through, the less time it benefits from an overclock boost. Like, the more tiers you go up, the less time it actually affects it. So we need to apply a second one down here. Do not foam the track, please. And hopefully we can do something from all that. Right, there we go. And then that, and it just completely melts it down into a gas melon. When it comes to the super ceramics and the fortified balloons, I think we would be done for if it wasn't for the Alchemist benefiting our Wizard Lord Phoenix at all times. So there we go. A boost there, and then one of those. And those fire balls, those molten balls that come out from the bigger, more powerful Phoenix. They are something. But this permanent Phoenix is a very, very big asset. What else is a big asset? Having one of these on the field. Now, it's very important that summon a boost to the Wizard Lord Phoenix, like equally distributed, so that it always has that boost. if it doesn't always have a boost, then we're going to be missing out on a lot of potential firepower. So let's see, we're coming up to 90. And 90 is interesting because of DDTs. But guess what? They stand no chance. They have absolutely no chance whatsoever. So where are we at? Nearly 800,000 of the actually, saying that, all or the majority of the pops are between rounds 90 and 100. Keep it going, Wizard Lord Phoenix. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in your fieriness. Round 94 is a challenge. Like, it's only subpar to round 98 when it comes to the total RBE. Now, if you know what RBE is, that is red balloon equivalent. What is the total equivalent of red balloons that would spawn on the track if you divided all of them up? Let's see if that's good. Summon that while the DDTs are hot. And all the fortified Moabs. No, it's not Moab. Stop telling me it's Moab. It's never Moab. It's never been Moab. Round 97 is also a tough one because it's fortified ZOMGs. So we're going to be putting down some non-lethal Moab glue gunners. And these hopefully will help within our endeavor to just slow down the Moabs so that they do not get hit. Like whatsoever. There we go. I think 3 of them will be enough. There we go. And then from there, summon our Phoenix friend. And they should all be going down town. Round 98. This is the big one. This is the biggest round. The most amount of balloons that will spawn ever in the entirety of Balloons TD6 outside of free play rounds. Round 98 has been defeated. Round 99 fortified the BFBs, no DDTs I mean. And that's done. And now round 100. This is the big round, so we're going to be summoning this ability very early so that once it gets within the range of my Wizard Lord Phoenix, it can then attack it with its primary attack. And ooh, we're getting close. 1.98 million. There we go. That should be it. That should be it. Keep going. Keep going. That's 2 million pops. And we have... Oh my god, that's so ironic. I just find that so ironic. The tower in which we have used at the start is also the tower in which we got. Or the foothold towards getting it anyways. A 020 Insta Monkey Wizard. Lovely. Let's use it. We're not going to use it. Sorry, Gwen. You've already reached your max level. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, that was great. That was an awesome run. Like, we got ourselves our 2 million pops from a single tower. Like, this in update 34 is an absolute beast. Like, it can solo this entire game. Of course, it can only solo it with help. Mainly the M.I.B, the 402 Alchemist, and 2 overclocked engineers so that it can always maintain their increase in its attack speed at all times. Because I think without it, we wouldn't be able to succeed in this. Like, I think it is essential for all these components to come together. In the very early stage of the game, this submerged submarine is important. Like, I was thinking about doing it with a dartling gun instead, but then it's just kind of awkward. Like this, it's doing a little bit of a purpose in here. Like, the only purpose it has while it's submerged just decamelize balloons. But with an M.I.B up and running, then there's no need for it anymore, because this is chimps, you can't sell towers. Although, if you have Andorra on the field, you can then sacrifice it, but then you'd have no purpose for Andorra. Adora. Not Andorra. Not the country Andorra. Adora. I wonder if Adora originates from Andorra. Ninja Kiwi. Is that true or not? But Gwen here, the main purpose of having Gwen, I can't select her. I'll look over her when we get out of this. Presents, lovely. So the main purpose of having Gwen on the field is solely due to her level 5 upgrade, which increases popping power, which is for herself, but it's for 10% improved attack speed and radius for Arena Fire, Signal Flare, and Dragon's Breath. That is the reason why we plonk Gwen down onto the field. But then when she gets up to level 18, a further 20% increased attack speed and radius for Dragon's Breath. So in total, that's 30% increase. Unless, of course, it just accumulates and that is just 20%. But as far as just looking at the numbers alone, that's a 30% increase in the Wizard Lord Phoenix's attack speed when it comes to its fire attack. And I think, and I think you think as well, that is an essential boost in which our friend needed in order to actually get to that point in time. Like, once you get Dragon's Breath, then you can plonk Gwen down. There's no point in putting Gwen down if we don't have Dragon's Breath. But also that 970 is important to get Dragon's Breath up in the first place, among other things. So I think, what other towers could you put down rather than the submarine? Like, you have very little options that don't steal away necessary pops in order for the Wizard Lord Phoenix to get up to 2 million pops. Like, I don't think there is any alternative. Like, the Dartling Gunner is probably the only other alternative, because once you're done with the Dartling Gunner, you can just face it away and never get pops with it again once the M.I.B is up and it's affecting the Dragon's Breath, so that then it can pop Purple Bloons. But I just find that the Monkey Sub, as long as you have it submerged, it's not going to do any harm whatsoever. And then just have anything that is not lethal at all supporting the Wizard Lord Phoenix in any way, sense, or form. So having a non-top path one past level 1 is going to be a big help. So let's say the Moab Glue is very good for slowing down the Moabs, which I think was probably important on like rounds 98 and rounds 99, so that the Moab class balloons would always be within the vicinity of Wizard Lord Phoenix, which is important. Ice towers, no, they steal away pops. Attacks, no. Bombs, no. Boomerangs, no. Like this, possibly just equip like a 002, but then again, that would still steal away pops that could be vital. So there's that. Engineer, well, aside from support while it's away from the track, then that's a no. Obviously, villages are very important as long as you don't go up to a 5XX. And why would you even get that within the first place? Unless, of course, you were doing a C.H.I.M.P.S game designated around primary towers, then that would be a big bonus. A 520 is a great one to have if you're focusing on primary towers on a C.H.I.M.P.S game. Spike factories, that would be a no because of the amount of damage it would do per spike pile, especially like perma spike per pile. Obviously, super mines are impossible to get, so obviously no. Banana farms are not available in C.H.I.M.P.S. Druids, absolutely no, especially the Spirit of Forest. Like, I usually use this on my videos when it comes to the boss events because I want a way to pop the ceramics, but not in this case. We want almost all of the pops to be done by the Wizard Lord Phoenix. And Alchemist, the reason why I placed my Alchemist where it was is because I do not want it so that it would have a huge amount of area in order to try and target balloons and stuff. Like, it does do damage. And when I tried before 2.0, what I found out is it accumulates enough pops so where the Wizard Lord Phoenix would be just shy of 2 million pops. So that's why I went for 401 rather than 420. Because yeah, it does attack faster, but it doesn't accumulate those pops because it doesn't have that stronger acid in the first place. But also perishing pops as well could be a bad thing because it would take away the fortified element, which is very helpful when it comes to actually accumulating pops. So there's that. Ninja monkeys, no. Well, you could possibly have a X4X balloon sabotage away from the track so that it would slow down balloons. Obviously, you don't want Grand Saboteur because it strips away health points from M.I.B class balloons, which is not what you would want. Super monkeys, obviously an absolute no. And then from there, like, I'm not sure if you could actually just get away with a shimmer without any of these upgrades alongside to support it, but then that would be taking away necessary pops as well. Yeah, and Dartling Gunner, I would say just plonk one down, don't upgrade it, aside from advanced targeting, because there's that one round in which there are camo purple balloons. Mortar Monkey, you don't really want to have something that increases the amount of damage that Mortar Monkeys do. And then there's also the Burning stuff as well, which benefits from Gwen, but we don't want it to benefit from Gwen unless, of course, this is somehow the town which we're going to use to get 2 million pops. But Mortar Monkey is highly unlikely, because it's not just the getting 2 Balloon Incineration, it's being able to actually afford it as well. Like, it's cheaper than a Wizard Lord Phoenix, but it's much less reliable and has a lot more RNG involved. Like, Balloon Incineration could probably do it, but then there's also the huge factor of black balloons and zebra balloons, which would be a huge detriment because they summon far more often than purple balloons. And by the time we get a M.I.B, then it'd probably be too late. Like, we probably wouldn't be able to upgrade the Monkey Village into an M.I.B because of the fact that we need to actually get enough money in the first place in order to actually purchase it. Helipilot, I don't see a benefit towards a downdraft. Like, we're not trying to do a regrow farm here because they can be a bit hit and miss when it comes to its reliability. Monkey Ace, no, we don't really want a global tower. Monkey Buccaneer, no, we don't really want anything that does a huge amount of damage. Like, you don't benefit at all from Merchantmen. Like, the only benefit you get from a Trade Empire and Chimps to increase the damage output of all your favorite trades, but then why wouldn't you go for something like a carrier flagship paired with a Monkey Ace Sky Shredder, for example? But then when I look at Monkey Subs, I'm thinking it's a safe tower to put down because you can submerge it and it just acts as support. Like, it doesn't do anything else once it's submerged but support, which is why I chose that over any other tower in order to actually pop the purple balloons in the very early stages of a game. Right, thank you so much for watching. This outro is far longer than what I intended to be, but I did want to explain all of my thought process behind why I chose a submarine to support my Wizard Lord Phoenix in the early stages of the game in order to pop purple balloons, because they are a big thorn. Like, if you don't put something down in the early stage of the game, then the Magic Monkey will suffer when it comes to that. When it comes to purple balloons, it will not be able to pop them whatsoever. But I do wonder if an Archmage is possible, but it's cheaper and it doesn't have the Phoenix ability. Like, it would be better than the Prince of Darkness against the bad, but I don't think that it's great against Super Ceramics. Like, I don't think it's going to be able to give us that amount of power overall in order to deal with the bad and the Super Ceramics. Like, against everything else, the Prince of Darkness is great except the bad. It's bad against bad. Get it? Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. Have a happy 2023.